Yo guys, it's DTBB. Today we're going to be checking out the best player from every overall in NBA Infinite. Let's not waste time. Let's get on to the video. We're going to be starting from the worst to the best. So let's start off with the 69 overall players. They're not even very good, so I'll have a good option to choose from. But I'm going to say Tim Hardaway Jr. because of his exclusive called Crossover Clinic. It gives him a behind the back move, which is pretty insane because it's really quick when you try to use him. It's also very easy to do. He has okay speed, 3-point, and mid-range, but he is not a good player for you guys to start maining, and he's just an okay player, but probably the best 68 to 69 overall player on the market. Let's get on to the 70 overalls. In the 70 overall spot, we got 4 players: Derrick Rose, Tobias Harris, Montrezl Harrell, and Andre Drummond, which I think is the best 70 overall player in this game because of all his stats. He can get rebounds. He's a very solid rebounder, but I don't think you would like picking him up. He's an okay player if you rank him up to an 82 overall. Like players like Tobias Harris, he's okay. Like, he can get boards. He is not a bad player, but I think he's a 70 overall, and, like, people shouldn't pick him up. I don't think you should, like, use this player because of how low overall he is. Let's go on to the next one. For 71 overall, it's only one player, and that is Kyle Lowry. I guess he's okay, but he's the only 71 overall. Let's get on to the next one. Next up, we got 72 overalls, and Mike Conley, I think he's an okay player, but I'm going to say that John Collins is the best 72 overall because of his dunking abilities. He's a very good finisher and a dunker, and he has the nice mid-range being at 640, a nice block, and a nice dunk. He is a very solid player if you guys want to pick up. You can use him in some lobs and stuff, but he is okay player. If you guys want, you can use him for lower levels, but I don't recommend using him in higher levels because of how underpowered he is. But he's an okay player. Him at R7, he is very good. Like, he has a 798 dunk, which is pretty nice, 779 block, which is also very nice if he wants to get blocks, because he's a block machine. Like, he can get blocks so much. Only 323 overalls. Jonathan Isaac, I've heard he's a very good rebounder and defender, but I'm going to go to Fred VanVleet because of his very high speed, his very high 3-point, and his very high layup. He is a nice driving player, and he can shoot the free as well. He is a very nice offensive player, and if you guys want him on defense, he's an okay defensive player, and he is just an okay all-around player. On the offensive end, he is a tiny little better than Jonathan Isaac because he can actually get passing, dribble, and layup. I think he is an okay better player than Jonathan Isaac. So we got 74 overalls. I think that Jordan Poole might be a little bit better than D'Angelo Russell because of his high 3-point and mid-range stat. But it is very close between the both of them because at the other end, you got Jordan Poole for a nice 3-point stat, but at the other end, you got D'Angelo Russell for a nice dribble stat, and he can pass the ball a lot. He gets a lot of passing abilities and a lot of passing boosts, so he is a good passer. But Jordan Poole can shoot lights out when he's wide open, and you get separation from him. D'Angelo Russell's step-back shot is actually okay, but I feel like Jordan Poole is the better player here. Like, I feel like his skill here is very nice because he gets one stack of FG field goal buff when a teammate shoots the ball and scores, so he's okay. Very nice player. If you guys want to pick him up in the older rankings, he is okay and solid. Now we got the 75 overall. It's gonna be harder to read all of them. Clint Capella, he is okay. He's a solid player, but he's not the best. Aaron Gordon, the only thing he's good at is dunking the ball. He is not good at anything else. Andrew Steve Gordon, only good at dunking the ball. Jalen Green is okay, but Marcus Smart, he's an okay player, solid player, but I don't think he's the best 75 overall here. I think Brook Lopez might be the best center, better player, and the best 75 overall in my opinion because he has so much good abilities like target lock, where he can block a shot and he can go to a player. So if a player is trying to get wide open, you can get him a ball easier and faster. You also got a solid 3-pointer. If a player is caping the paint and thinks you can't shoot, you can hit him with a 3-pointer and he'll always make a land. People do say Jalen Green is a better 75 overall, but I think not because even though Jalen Green has a good dribble, pass, and dunk ability, and he can shoot the ball, I feel like Brook Lopez is a better defender, and I feel like defense wins games more than offense because Jalen Green is not a good defensive player. With him only having like a 300 rebound and only a 600 defense, defense, which is not as good, but he's okay at his defense. I feel like Brook Lopez is one of the best centers in this game if you want a budget player, and he is a solid player. Now, the 76 overall is full of shooters. It's real centers, but I'm gonna start from the bottom. Draymond Green, he's okay. We haven't seen much of Draymond Green, so I don't have a bunch of cards, but Stephen Curry is a very solid player, behind the back dribble, insane skill to use for Stephen Curry. Tyrese Halliburton, very solid player. He is an okay shooter and he can get the ball a little bit. But I feel like Stephen Curry isn't as good as Tyrese Halliburton, but he is not the best. LaMelo Ball, he is very, very good. He is a baller. I don't know who to choose from the 76 overalls. But then we get to KD and LeBron James 2007 version. I feel like LeBron James has a better package than all the other players because he has a tomahawk dunk and an insane acceleration master to his ability. But this might be a little bit controversial because of the other good players, but very, very closely, I think that LeBron James is the best 76 overall player. This might be very controversial, but that is my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, then Theo Fit, very solid at his strength and speed. He can get to the ball, rim it easily. He can dunk the ball, so fast at the game, so good at the game. I feel like his dunk ability is very good, and I feel like his pass, steal, defense, and rebound is very good on a player. So I feel like LeBron James is not only underrated, but he is the best player in the 76 overall category. Bogdan is very solid, but I don't think he's as good as him. Let's go on to another player, and also in the batch of players. Klay Thompson is okay, but I feel like B.I. is also a very good contender to being the best 77 overall because he has a 725 mid-range and an R1. Very solid player when it comes to mid-range, and his speed and strength, and his dribble is very, very good. But I don't compare him to Lauri Markkanen, which is also a very good 77 overall, which is insane at his interior post and dunk because he can just drive in and he is very, very fast. You can also get rebounds, which is very nice for players that don't have a center, but also try to use Lauri Markkanen. He also has a very high three-pointer, better than Brandon Ingram, and his skills are very nice. So I'm going to give this one to Lauri Markkanen here because he is also not just very fast, but he is tall. He is 7 foot. He's basically the Victor Wembanyama of this game. I feel like he is so good. He is so good at shooting the ball. He can get rebounds as well. Such a good player all around. He's so good. This is another hard one for me because we got a lot of good candidates for being the best 78 overall. First off, we got Victor Wembanyama, the big man himself. Such a good player. We got Donovan Mitchell. He's okay. Julius Randle, he's the worst player in this category. De'Aaron Fox is very, very solid at going in for his driving dunk. But also you got players like DeMar DeRozan, which is an insane mid-range shot. Jamal Murray, a very good shooter. He can get buckets. But Drew Holiday is a good stealer and shooter. But I feel like he's not as better as players other 78 overalls. JJJ, another good option for a player. But I still don't feel like he is the best option right today. He has a nice rebound. He has a nice everything. Like, he has a nice mid-range. And he's a good dunker. It is between two players here, Victor Wembanyama and Paul George. These two players are one of the best players in NBA Infinite right now and have insane attributes and stuff. But I feel like Victor Wembanyama is 7'4" and he has insane skills, insane moves, and he's basically a do-it-all because he has an okay three-pointer. He can still hit sometimes. Again, he is 7'4", which is insane for a power forward player. And his attributes are pretty insane. He has a strong speed and three-point range, but he does well in the dunk and post interior and layup positions of the player. He has an insane dunk and insane layup, and he can block the ball and rebound the ball. Very good. He is one of the best rebounders in the game. He is unfair, basically. He is way too OP because he's so big and strong and tall that he gets every rebound, no matter what player it is. Paul George is an okay player. He can get 3 points. He's a good mid-range player. His defense is astonishing. Same player, but I'm going to have to give it here to Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is so good. He's just unfairly tall, and he can get most of the blocks in your team, so he's such a good player. I know it sounds like I'm glazing this dude way too much, but I'm just saying, but this dude is so good at this game, bro. Next up, we got the 79 overalls, another hard choice. Ja Morant, he's an okay player, but I don't think he's the best player over 79 overalls. Shea needs a buff. He is not very good at all for 79 overall. He should be a little bit better, but he's not at all. Siakam's okay. I guess he's a good player. He's mid. He's so insane. Sabonis is a very solid player. He can get rebounds. He is so good at the game. But these are two players that I feel like are two of the best. Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, in my opinion, are one of the best centers in this entire game, and I'll show you guys why. Both of them have an insanely high rebound, but Karl Anthony Towns is a mid-range expert, shooting almost all of his mid-ranges, and he's a good rebounder. He's a little bit better rebounder than Rudy Gobert. But I feel like Rudy Gobert is a better defender and a blocker, and he can get blocks and layups. He's an okay layup player, but I feel like Karl Anthony Towns is also an insane dunker and can drive in for the dunk and or the layup, because I feel like these two players are so good for their own respective abilities, and they're one of the best centers in this game, so I'm just going to say that they're both good. Next up, we got the 80 overall. It's going to be another hard one because we got a lot of people. Kyrie Irving, easily the best dribbler in this game. He can dribble so good and so fast. Luka Doncic is a little underpowered, but I feel like he's going to get a buff. Bam Adebayo is such a good rebounder. He can also shoot the ball a little bit. He has a little bit of a shooting touch in his mid-range. That's what I really like about him, because he can make shots sometimes. He has a 646 mid-range, which is insane. Zion Williamson, pretty mid-player. He's solid. He can get dunks and all that stuff, but he's not like really the best 80 overall, I think. Jimmy Butler, he's also okay. He got a lot of good stuff on his abilities, and he really has a high speed and strength and a nice mid-range and layups ability. He also has a really nice steal and defense ability, so I feel like he's also really good. But I don't think he's the best. I feel like it's up between these two players, James Harden or Damian Lillard. They are very good at their own respective abilities, but Damian Lillard has a little bit of a higher 3-point, but his dribble is a little bit better. But I feel like James Harden is the better 81 overall because of how insane his dribble moves are compared to Damian Lillard's. You might say that Damian Lillard's shot might have like a little bit more better than James Harden, but I feel like James Harden has the best dribble moves in the game, one of the best. He has also a lot of 3-point pull-up pros. He has a lot of 3-point stuff. He also has a step-back shot, which is insanely good, which can get you separation for the player. So I feel like 80 overall, James Harden is the best 80 overall right now. People might get buffs, but I feel like he's the best one right now. You got another hard one, the 81 overalls. Every player here is so good at their own talent. So first up, we got Kawhi Leonard. I haven't seen much Kawhi Leonard to really like test him and see like how good he is at the game. Again, KD doesn't really have much players playing him to make an argument for the best 81 overall. He's okay, I guess. Joel Embiid is a monster in rebounding and dunking the ball, and King also has a nice drive in, so I feel like that's going to be insane. 80 is a close second, but I feel like it's up to these two players, Jason Tatum or Joel Embiid. Ever since that recent Jason Tatum buff, he has been insane at his shot, and his dribble moves are actually insane at the game, including pinpoint precision. But then you got Joel Embiid with the insane block stat, insane rebound stat, and insane interior and post stat, which is insane for a center. I haven't seen a center have this good center to pick up. And he's also very easy to like get him to a high rank because of how low he's going up for. It's very close though, but I'm gonna go for Joel Embiid because he is such a good, big, dominant center that I can pick up from any time. Along with AD, Jason Tatum is also a very close second. I feel like Jason Tatum and AD are like in the same category as like very, very good players, but I just feel like Jason Tatum does not have the shooting and like the capability of Joel Embiid. And like I said, AD with the insane block stat like is insane for him. He has skyscrapers, is so good for him. And if you compare him to Jason Tatum, you can see that his block is 941, his defense is 905, and his rebound is really high for a power forward. So AD is also a solid second player, but he's going off for $6 million, so it might be hard to R2 him. Last off, we got the 82 overall, the highest overall in NBA Infinite that you can R7 right now. We got 4 players: Nikola Jokic, Giannis, Stephen Curry, and LeBron James. Let's see all of their stats. Stephen Curry, I've seen a lot of Stephen Curry's run this game. They're not too bad. LeBron James is an all-around player. He can dunk, he can shoot the ball a little bit. He is such a good player to pick up, and he is really overpowered when it comes to driving in and taking that dunk. He has such a high dunk stat. But I also think Curry's also a really good player because he can make all of his shots wide open if you got him. We also got Giannis Antetokounmpo, which I compare him to LeBron James here. He has a 870 speed rating, which is insane for a power forward since power forwards are not usually that big and speedy. He also has a very solid rebound, but what I look about is this dunk stat. He is a 949 dunk, a little bit higher than LeBron James, and he has a good interior and speed. And his block is also better than LeBron James. He can block the ball. His defense is also astonishing. He's 750 for power forward, which is insane. Also, his steal stat is also a little bit better than LeBron James, but steal stats doesn't really matter for power forwards. So I'm gonna give this one to Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is the best player in NBA Infinite, in my opinion. He is the best overall player for the 82 overalls because of his Euro step and his dunk stat. Because I feel like he's the best dunker and he's the best speed player. He also has a solid block, defense, and rebound stat, which is also insane. So I feel like he is one of the best 82 overall in this game. Well, that has been the end of today's video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. This took me a long time. Peace out.